Hi, these are the Lesson 4 Earth Season Notes. And the first thing we need to talk about to understand Earth seasons are some misconceptions people have. The Earth doesn't have seasons because the Earth is closer or further away from the Sun. That is not why we have summer and winter. The Earth is about the same distance from the Sun all the time, even though the orbit is an ellipse. It has to do with the axis of the Earth. Here's a picture of Earth on its axis. So Earth isn't perfectly straight up and down. Earth has a tilt to it. The axis of rotation has a tilt of about 23.5 degrees. And that's why all the globes you've ever seen have been tilted and not straight up and down. The axis is the tilt of the Earth as it spins in space. So if we have the sun here shining its light, the Earth is a circle that is tilted in space. It spins around this axis right here, and this is why we have the seasons. We'll see how in just a second. So, winter. When we have winter time, the tilt of the Earth has the southern hemisphere collecting the most sunlight. So the tilt of the Earth, you could say the northern part of the Earth is tilted away from the sun, and the south pole is tilted towards the sun. And what we end up with is that the southern hemisphere is collecting a lot of sunlight. If you notice down here, the very bottom of the southern hemisphere is never dark, no matter where the Earth is in its rotation. So this part of the Earth right here always has daytime. The southern hemisphere is getting a lot of light, whereas the northern hemisphere is not collecting nearly as much. You'll also notice this top part of the Earth, the North Pole all the way down through Alaska, is getting very little sunlight. In fact, it's never sunny in the north part of the hemisphere here because the sun is never rising or setting. It's dark for months on end. So in our notes, here in the northern hemisphere, we have less energy. But then the southern hemisphere has lots of energy. So while we are feeling winter, here's winter, down here is summer. Christmas time comes in the middle of summer for Australia. Okay, moving on to summer. Now, the opposite is true in summer. The Earth is tilted towards the sun, and the northern hemisphere collects most of the sunlight. So in this video, as the year goes by, what we end up having is the summer coming with the northern hemisphere tilted towards the Earth. So then the northern hemisphere is feeling summer. The southern hemisphere is feeling winter. People in Antarctica are in nighttime 24 hours a day, and the people in the North Pole and Alaska, northern Canada, are all feeling, the sun is up at 2 a.m., 2 p.m., all day, all night. Okay, so just to review this really quickly, we have the North Pole tilted towards the sun in the summertime. So the North Pole in the northern hemisphere is collecting most of the sun time. Winter is in the southern hemisphere. Now 6 months later, the Earth will have moved all the way over to here. And now the North Pole is tilted away, so the northern hemisphere is feeling winter. The southern hemisphere is feeling summer. Okay. Now in between, we see that in between this will be spring, summer, fall, winter. Now what I want you to do at the bottom of the page here is try to fill in this diagram with when is summer, when is winter. Now make sure you look at the tilt Make sure you know that the orbit is going to be going this direction in this picture. And where is it summer, where is it winter? Okay. You could label both summer and winter on both, or just label the northern hemisphere as being summer, winter, whatever else.